around there, and I kind of just played it for fun, and I never really like, you know, had like a really strive or passion to want to play it. And then I met CryptoCal, which you would know him by.
Yep.
And yeah, from there we just kind of like formed like this cool team that just started playing Siege tourneys, and it like showed me a new side to Siege, bro. And it was like, honestly, it's pretty fun. So
Okay.
that's probably my favorite moment in Siege right now. Is just like the comp scene. I really enjoy it.
Okay, let's go a little bit
Besides
more.
to talk to people.
Who's your favorite player over all of your comp Siege time? Favorite teammate? Yes, you're gonna have to.
Favorite teammate?
Yep.
Okay. Honestly, trying to think. Are we going off of like? Actually, you know what? I'll say Stargazer, because he's like honestly the nicest human being you'll ever meet. Like, no joke. Like, you can yell at him, be mean to him, no matter what you'll say, he'll still like. He'll just be a humble guy. Like, he will never argue with you. Like, I don't know. He's just
a very happy-go-lucky kind of guy.
Yes, he's literally the happy-go-lucky guy, bro. So, I'd say, yeah, probably Stargazer.
Okay, that's understandable. He's relatively well-liked by what feels like everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why. He's so, like, just chill.
Okay, let's go to your accomplishments. What is your favorite accomplishment as a player?
I would like to say winning a Scissors League, but, you know, just can't damn do that, apparently. But,
What's so, Black
honestly,
Ice?
Yeah, Black Ice I definitely think is up there, but, honestly, I would just say, like, our biggest accomplishment is hitting, I think, 10 league wins, like, within our team. Like, we hit the last league we just won. That was our 10th league win as a team, which is, I'm pretty sure it's like some of the most that any team has ever gotten.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been together for what, a year or so now,
like
minimum?
I think almost 2 years now.
Yeah, you guys are one of the most long-term rosters we've seen in a while. There hasn't been that many changes. There's been a couple of changes in the subs, but that main five has stayed for quite a long time.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty impressive.
Not planning to go anywhere either, yet at least.
What's next for you? You know, you've done relatively well in the comp scene. You're well known. What do you want to go to next? Do you want to try to keep up competitive? Do you want to go to tournaments and try to make a name streaming?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not backing down until I win a fucking Sunday. All right, I need to win a Sunday.
Sunday's what you shoot for?
If I don't win a Sunday, I'm gonna be pissed off. But
who do you want to play with?
Once I win,
are you gonna run it with CC?
I mean, yeah, we're trying to do CC. I mean, the only problem is we keep getting Jinxie first round of every single tournament. It's actually annoying. So we played him the last 4 Sundays in like either first round or second round every single time. Sometimes we're like, we got flooded. Another time we like put up a fight. But I mean, you're literally playing the super team, so, you know, it makes it kind of hard to try and, like, get used to tourneys, you know? When you just play the best team first round.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly doesn't help. So Sundays what you want to shoot for, though?
Yeah, I want to, and I do want, like, I've been trying to start streaming, but I need a capture card first, so, because I get stream sniped, like, every game. It's actually bad.
About that,
yeah, once I get that.
I can show you a couple of tips until then. I think I can make you a good setup. That's more off topic.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah.
So you're saying, at the end of the day, Roller Rivals is where you want to go. Have you ever thought about PC?
Yeah. Honestly, I tried PC, and I wanted to play it, but, dude, I'm gonna be honest, I am terrible at PC. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the recoil, bro. I don't know how people control that. So, yeah. I mean, maybe if, like, console Siege really does, like, I'm clearly seeing it not go anywhere if I'm, like, even still in the scene at that point, and, like, I need to make a switch, then I might, like, try putting hours in the PC, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
I mean, yeah, I think by most, you're probably one of the most, you know, competitive players long term. You've been around here for a while, and you've always been a pretty competitive player. But what was your first team? Let's talk. Was your first team CC or?
Yeah, my first and only team is CC. I can tell you how I actually got in the team if you want.
Shoot, yeah, tell me.
So, it's a funny story. So I was in this, I versed CryptoCal. His name was XOM9RX at the time. And I'm pretty sure I versed him in a custom or a rank game or something like that. And we were kind of shit-talking each other, right? And we were shit-talking each other in this GC. And some random dude just came in there and started calling us both terrible, right? So after that, me and Crypto ganged up on him and started talking shit to him. And then somehow, over that point in time, we were like friends, I guess, after that, which was kind of weird.
This is going to be week 2 of counting. With the wait finally over and a little bit of issues, we are back with what should be an amazing game tonight. Got ourselves Wild Boys YN, Zave eSports, 2 top teams in this league going at it just to move on to those of grand finals. Both these teams have had some of the better runs we've seen in a long time in terms of leagues. Zaves have had huge players step up, Cells being that main one. He himself has had almost a 2.7 KD over these past 6 games now and brought them to a huge performance. First man goes out, you see the Mirror, you see the Monty, no surprises. Still the strongest stops on the attack and defense, arguably. Second ops go out, really makes you think we're going to see a little bit more of an aggression on bans. However, we're going to stay pretty default here. No real strats being shown. You go with what you know. You go with that Azami. You go with that, the basic ace. There's nothing wrong with that. And with each one, you're really just going to see that's how it is. No one's going to complain. You know what's going to be banned, and it's so powerful. So there's no real problem. No one's surprised. However, with both teams here, they really need this win. They've had quite a few close games to get here, and I think a dominant one would help them really feel in the zone and ready for a pretty treacherous path. Well, mouse aside, apparently having issues. Never a good sign. Let's see if we can fix that real quick. Players-wise, no real surprises in terms of who's going to be starting. Both teams having a pretty dominant start, and both of them really don't want to obviously lose here because this is good, win or go home, and it's never a situation you want to be in with a team. Let's see which one can thrive more under that pressure. Because if you don't last year, your time is over, and you're gonna have to come back to the drawing board for next season. Just the basic droning, you know what you're going to see at this point in the game. No one's really surprised. Pre-fires from Matrix, hoping to catch some damage, but will not be given. Smutney grabs Cells. Play on a bit of vulgar wordplay. This Nomad here pushing up could be caught out if she doesn't look the right direction. C4 might get him. That pick is tied back up, but Cav runs in. Vontae trades in a 3v3. A slurry of picks will probably slow down here as we see Matrix kind of take that back foot and maybe worry about a little bit of droning, but Ping's going out on this mute here, and It's not an easy one. There's a lot of bodies over here, and it's all just really dependent on who can hold the better cross. Because there's so many angles you have to watch here if you're on the side of the defense. It's benefiting the attack, and we see it. Matrix grabs one, it gives him that also major advantage. Another one down, and Cinch turned to a 1v3. He needs to get a kill now if he wants to have any chance. And a trade goes out, but that will not be enough. Good start, and pretty good round for YN. In that, though, you gotta just... Getting those entries is really gonna get you the farthest. Bro, I gotta stop. I gotta keep my stream title right. Girl, for some of y'all... I mean, there is a BO3 coming around, so it isn't, like, technically off, but, like... Ew. But the ew. It is not Dark Knight. That was last night in T3. We now have ourselves YN, Zave. Two of the better console teams, to be entirely fair, but... I don't think anyone's going to say that they're better than the top T3. I mean, everyone loves... Yeah, Yellow Bog, that was the name. That was the name of the T3 team. Don't ask me. It was for, I want to say, $1,000 league, if I'm not mistaken, was the prize pool, so... Hey, I mean, you're coming in there, and they actually won, too. They beat probably one of the better-looking teams in their low seed. And winning 3 games normally doesn't mean you'd have that big of an upset, but, you know, it was like the 16 seed upset's like the 4 seed. So, pretty big one if you ask me, and who doesn't love an upset? Come on now. Everyone loves it when the underdog wins. To some, that might mean if Duke loses. I shall not make a statement there. Some of y'all were not high on them in the oh-so prevalent March Madness. Look towards this shield again. Blackbeard taking that aggressive angle, and this shield apparently is a superpower, and he's very willing to try and abuse it. However, a bit of shot damage taken because that shield doesn't cover your whole body, and the change helps them. Cells grabs Yagami on a beautiful angle held from him, and not really any acknowledgement. Problem is that Cells has put himself in a position where if he walks one wrong step, and he could be held by a cross on many angles, and everyone grouping up towards that east side. Not really any people looking over there. We see Aquino kind of trying to jiggle it, but it's not a fun one to jiggle. Banter aside. Everybody's going out. Cav, Superior, both grab that. Entry. Still surprisingly held by Zave. They've been able to just trade him out here and gonna be able to keep holding that one-man advantage. And gonna have to see some big plays. Damage goes out. Superior gets 2 people pretty low, but it's not anywhere near the same as a kill. And going into this, kind of just be down to Cells. Grabs a huge pick there. Gives him more room to breathe. Immediately taken away by Cav. Site becoming ever so more suffocating. 1v1. He doesn't know he's there. Cells with a triple. And apparently, this angle in CC for him is his god spot because he did about as good as you can get there. Who could complain? I mean, I guarantee it's not how we wanted, or Zave wanted to play it out, but they got the round, and that's all you can ask. Yeah, no, I don't know why I mute his top east. We're going to stay very tame here in our opinions, because I do want to not get shot out and lose a T3 opportunity. But yeah, that's probably a bad play. Maybe there was a vision. It just happened to be the vision of like a blind man. So.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
Shit talking aside, still a pretty good round from Zaves despite their interesting decisions. Sadly, apparently my new GameSir controller is absolutely screwed over, so we got the default one and this thing has stick drift, so just gotta try to play it off. And the free cam might not look anywhere near as pretty. Shouldn't matter though. Cells on that Valkyrie, hoping to maybe catch someone out. Unless we see an IQ pick, which, speak of the devil, but if IQ doesn't get in here fast enough and warn the team, they could see a lot of picks go out early.
5 seconds left before.
However, his plan very well may just be kind of hold this light roam and just kind of wait. Cells can just fall off, I think, at this point. He has his cams, and he doesn't know there's an IQ yet, so you just got to assume, I got this. He'll just probably fall off, and those cams could have provided very little value, and still. Time wasted always is a big objective of the roam, despite what some console players would say. Cav with a pistol. Kill, surprising. What is going on near that site? Smutny, Matrix, bodies of awry everywhere. A triple from a Blackbeard and a flawless round off of a rush play. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect it to be that fast. Hey, I mean, in these first couple rounds, always when you want to get those rushes in, that or towards that very, very end, you can use that sort of, you're still getting your bearing as a team, you're still warming up, because a lot of teams don't do warm-ups before theirs, which, shame on them. But it gives you a big chance there, and it gives you a big opportunity to just keep abusing those powerful items. We see the Blackbeard ban, no surprise. A lot of success on that Blackbeard. They were able to get trades, be able to get big entry kills, and it's a threat, and they didn't seem to think Cab was the play, but apparently Superior thinks Tachanka is maybe a little bit more controversial, and he's good on maybe 3 sites, and none of them are on border. I have seen him played quite a bit in Korean T3 layer. I have seen him played a lot on Cafe,
Attackers need to locate.
and then situationally on first floor layer. But that top floor layer has become a pretty standard strat.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Actually, kind of give him a bit of a resurgence in terms of pick rate, at least on that one map. But outside of that, he has struggled quite a bit to stay a hardly, popular operator. Yeah, these cams and archives. Sometimes you gotta trust the idea, let it play out, and maybe it could have been good, but it didn't matter because they just rushed site. And the paper-thin defense they were holding on site kind of just made it easy. Along with a very, very hard extension upstairs. You'll see quite a bit of extensions, but popped hatch and what looks to be possibly 3 to 4 bodies playing outside of sight. And to be fair, it kind of looks like they're begging for a direct hit again. And just because you banned 2 shields does not mean the blitz is gone, and he's arguably best when it is direct. Vontae, damage going out, Cav grabs the first and literally just ran away. To be fair, an entirely smart decision on his end. It might look a little goofy, but you're getting a lot of value. You get your pick and you literally just run out. There's nothing that you have to do at that point. You have your advantage. Smutny certainly lowering it. Matrix. Sadly, body damage isn't going to do it. With a shield rushing toward you, you better be very careful. Matrix get an accidental headshot. 2v5, and while you do have quite a bit of shield counters, a popped hatch, and what could very well be quite a bit of hurt done on you, it does not look to be all too exciting for them. You have to see a big play from them. Maybe Matrix can be caught out here if he doesn't drone right, but you're kind of just hoping for a lot here. And good time, Legion Mine, 4v1. Flash is going to go out. He's essentially going to be put in the corner and just kind of put to bed here. Sooner or later, Smutny finishes. Once again, maybe not the play. I personally do not see the idea in keeping so many players upstairs, at least after the past couple of rounds, and I hope that we see a little bit more of a playing back from them, because that wasn't a great start. Zave had one amazing round off of a Cells 4K, and then have kind of fallen off. Sometimes Border is not the greatest map, and to be fair, it is very attacker-sided in T3, and even very low T2, so it isn't all too surprising, and console generally veers towards that T3 level.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Well, they veer towards the level, but they don't really have the thinking, I guess is the best way to put it. Besides four good console teams, normally the plan is outgun them, not outstrat them, so. Playbooks are genuinely the rarest thing alive. I'm pretty sure they're extinct in console comp, or close to be. I know like 2 teams use them, and one of them used to be very good, and the other one, I think it's like 2 years old, so. No hate from teams. After all, if you're winning your games, who cares how you do them? Honestly, I think the big issue is if we can't see a momentum shift, and at least Zave put up some fight, we're just gonna be able to see Cav and Smutney just keep playing these aggressive angles, and they're just gonna keep getting these free gaps. And I think Matrix is a little bit shield made, at least as what we've seen, and that's not a bad thing, but when 2 shields are off the board, it does limit your options. We'll see him on a better gun here. High damage, low fire rate, essentially Frost on the offense. Personal favorite, the Para, but big thing is, can we see that Frost gun really put up some big work here, because he's being closed in on him on CC side. Pressure's coming towards him, and Yagman grabs the first pick, getting Aquino 1 and 5 on the game. Not a great start for him. And drones be the big issue. Yin grabs another, and a 2-player advantage on a pretty important round, I'd argue, for that momentum. And I would say expect a timeout even if they win this, but most teams don't even know what a timeout is. Still down a player, even with that pick, and just have to see a big step up from realistically Vante or Op here. Because there's just so many people and so much pressure coming towards you, you got to be able to handle it. And it's possible they just go down below and ignore this entire pressure and just kind of go for the plant. And I can tell you fair, that might work. Because it's possible we just see a run in here, and he waited way too long. Giving up 3 picks here. Op apparently looked like he's playing target practice with the terrorist hunt bots. Apparently they are back. Vante with a beautiful flick, and not certainly, I think, what they expected. Big come up. And Vante clutching a round that much needed to be. Yes, all of these rosters, I think, are console. Forgive me for not knowing. This is a full, this is a full console. This feels a little sad for a console and PC league, because I know damn well there is a relatively good T3 team still in playoff, and that is probably going to get quite a few of them, because you can be good, and I'm not denying that, but it's also kind of hard to beat a team that has a better input on almost all of their players, and they actively scrim every day and are relatively good and probably going to go semi-pro. There's something to say that you can just certainly beat that, and we saw that with AARP, because apparently retired people are very good at Siege, and you know, upsets happen, but at that, you know, at a lower T3 level with, you know, a 14 seed and a relatively fraudulent 4 seed, it's a little bit easier to, you know, get behind. But the team of Wild Boys Wise did not look really at all struggling, and they went up against arguably the best opponent in playoffs besides them. And they beat them pretty well. Good 3-1 clutch, or 2-1 clutch, excuse me. Onto this game, though. We will see. Yeah, I wouldn't really count the ego working all too often. I think that, well, it's going to work, and Cells very much could ego. But the rest of this team, they're not really that good mechanically. Vante is an amazing shield player, but he hasn't touched the Clash, so I'm assuming that's not his forte, but otherwise, not really a super strong roster mechanically. And even IGLing-wise, they're not really breaking any records. Shot from above, Matrix looking to possibly go for a plant here. It's really just, can he get inside, because this vert might hold the issue, and with Cells on that Warden Glass, suddenly the plant can be stopped relatively easy, because that Ying means nothing to him. They know it's there now, but huge play. Love in a beautiful position. All he has to do is get 1 kill and it'd be huge, but Super Superior takes him out, and Cells down 3v3. Really need to get that res up. That's gonna be impossible res, and a 1v3, huge whiff, and Vante needs to clutch up, and Pruby's more than the IGL, more than just strategist, and a hell of a player mechanically, because bodies close in, Cav finishes, and around that looked so amazing, kind of just collapsed in on itself. No real players standing out. Cells does have, surprisingly, most of the entries. It's kind of split, but Cells and RNG holding it all. 2-1 for Cells, 2-0 for RNG. Good start, but neither of these teams are really great at trading each other out. We've seen Zave do it a little bit worse, but YN aren't really winning off of these trade-offs. They're winning off of huge superhero plays from 1 or 2 players. And that can work, especially in, you know, a little bit of a not finals really level team. But if we go to finals, I don't think we're going to be able to see hero plays work out. And either YN or Zave need to show that they're more than just some kid getting a 3K every round. Because I don't think that's going to work all too long. Yellow block, no. Normally, because it'd show you said PC player, but you Diamond 3, that's honestly want to see who's the highest. Damn. Some of y'all are unemployed or do very little with your time, and yikes. But YN 4-2 half, and I guarantee you they're figuratively jumping for joy. They get a pretty big advantage going on to technically the weaker side, but with all this momentum pointing towards them, I don't really think it matters all too much. I think it's just going to come down to how do we see them keep playing. Yeah, I have no idea. I have given up on trying to decipher how this game is going to play out. It is going to be 3Ks alike to see whoever wins. Who wins? I can't tell you. I genuinely could not. This game is going to come down to who's in a better spot mentally, which, you know, that can work. I wouldn't recommend it. Quickly just going to check something. Sorry about that. Had to make sure our stream wouldn't crash for the what feels like concurrent third time. What? Not what I saw. Shit. Sorry about the bit of quietness. Apparently we don't understand how it works. Bit of a slow start. And both teams just kind of trying to find a gap, drone out, do that basic stuff, and see if they can catch something. Op does. Catches Smutney out, and YN do go down. Matrix sitting in probably the most disgusting angle I've ever seen. All it takes is one good drone, and if that doesn't happen, we're going to see probably the most annoying weapon that could possibly exist sit in one of the most annoying angles you can possibly be in. Well, if you want to chalk a mental, just do what Matrix is doing. And Yagami says, I'm going to just hold a random rappel angle. The gambling paid off, but certainly questionable why he was even there. Superior contemplating which window to hop in. Maybe he sees more. Wyatt with Love sitting in a corner, Matrix also there. CC and Security are still way less clear than they need to be. Kills pop out, Superior grabs one. Cell's dead to the most annoying shotgun angle I've seen in quite a bit. They have a pistol in hand, 2v3, YN down, and sitting in this corner in this case might actually help, but he ran back and Sadly, I think that they know that he has a shotgun. They're going to take these close range fights and just kind of not take them. Because a Legion shotgun and trying to win that with you being 2 feet away is a pretty big way to lose. Legion walking his way in. Caught out in a bad situation. Vante grabs one and Zave win the first attacking round. Definitely, I think, a not too surprising outcome, honestly. I think both these teams are just kind of going to feel very in with the data. They're not going to break any trends. You're going to see them do pretty good on the attack because this is an attacker-sided map. However, we have seen Zave been able to pull their trades back together, back from the dead, except for Aquino. -6 is probably not going to win you any games. 29% cost, 0.14 KD. I tend to try to be very nice to people because you never know. You know, it might just be a bad game. But good lord. Good lord.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Those are the kind of stats where you see white women clutch their pearls for. To be entirely fair, I wouldn't feel safe if Kino was holding my back at this point. He has struggled actually quite a bit recently, and this doesn't seem to be any different. 1-7 Kevin playing an R4C. Someone swap Dokkaebi and Aquino. Op and Aquino, because I don't know why he's on the ramp. Or the Twitch. Reduce Opsy 0 shields this time. They say, not worth it. There's like 4 C4s here and about as many counters as you could ask for. Is that everyone has impact C4s or Legion mines, which are arguably worse. Makes sense. Vante sees that lineup and just kind of decides, I'm good. Not to prove my point or anything, but we'll move on. Getting some clear done. Everyone's just kind of realistically going to play Where's Waldo? Waldo being this oh so elusive vigil. Annoying gun, annoying gadget, and it all combines to be an amazing op played correctly, and if you play it wrong, you could very well catch your entire team out. Both teams still just kind of looking for a gap, getting their way into the building. Zave moving a little bit slower than I think they should be, but I wouldn't dare say it causes a disadvantage because this game is unpredictable as is. Smutney, though, with a very predictable angle, gets superior down, and that advantage does go to YN for that second round and a half. Sells, ties it back up, and a Mozzied Twitch drone in hand could certainly be annoying with a couple of nomads here if he's in the right place at the right time. Sight held pretty loosely, hoping on those extensions. Yin needs help desperately. He is low, probably afraid, and realistically has half of the lobby looking at him in one way or another. Aquino looking up the metal. Second kill for the round for him, or second kill of the game. Yin possibly caught out. Certainly Aquino is actually putting in some work here. A 2v4, Cav at an amazing angle, but it's very possible they don't even come this way. And are you? Forgive me if I saw that wrong. Standing head hole height with bodies over here. That eventually gets punished. We see Cells finish him off, a 1v3, or it should be, but he whiffs, and Zave with another pretty dominant round. Looked awful, but a good performance from Aquino. Kind of lets everyone do their thing, and holding that prone, annoying angle is going to catch quite a few people out to give him that round. Slowly we're seeing these trades for YN kind of degrade, and Zave getting a little bit better coming onto that attack side, but still not what you hope for. Oh, that's cool. Sorry. Yeah, no, Superior might need to give it up. Put up them reins. Ooh.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
After
attackers.
this one, I would recommend quite a few of you at least look at Sino, the man who runs what feels like half of T3 in casting, costing my leg, heart, and soul to if I ever wanted to get him for a game, but he's going to be casting Element 5. Good for him. Getting him moving up in the world. But for now, we shall stay with these smaller leagues, and MPL actually larger than quite a bit of PC ones. Bit of a double back from Yin. Not sure what he had planned in mind. Gonna opt to decide not to. Pretty hard hold upstairs with a soft hatch, not a popped one. Take that back. Bodies galore. That runs pretty close to his site. Could be a first full direct hit, honestly.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
I certainly would not expect it from a team like this, who Zave seems to be very orthodox. Scoreboard. Yeah, sorry. Except the records. That is incorrect because neither of them would get back to me, so I had to use the last known record I had of them, which God knows how accurate that is. Yagini getting quite a bit of pressure, opts to fall off and keep his life, but still quite a few bodies near this balcony, and one good spawn peek could certainly cause some issues. Or Cav holding this very tight angle could also be it. A whiff though. Could have been that first kill is instead just gonna look a little embarrassing. No kills out, minute 40, and the longer we see this kind of just no kill game wage on, it's gonna keep giving a bigger advantage to YN. They finally catch the first in very successive order. Yin grabs 1-2 and 5v3 so far, minute 30 left, and Zave gonna need to make a big play here. Superior's in a pretty good position to do it. Smutney catches Op out, and odds starting to look ever thinner. At this point, I think YN have sort of gotten locked in. They realize this round is over. All we have to do is just go run away, and I think we're going to see that quite a bit. Smutney says, no, let me pad them stats. I want to get a 20 bomb, baby. Approaching it with quite a bit of time left to go. Flawless round, and look to be probably one of the better rounds from YN, all in all. They got their trades. I suppose they didn't have to. They got their entries. They stayed safe, and when they saw that they were at an advantage, most of them ran back into sight. And even as, let's say, you're a worse team mechanically, if you play around in a good successive order, and YN can keep playing that good order where, no, they don't have a PC player, despite maybe some questionable PC play from him, but you see it's going to keep them in a better situation because we can keep seeing good follow-offs. It's going to force Zave to execute with even less time than they wanted with. And that's all that matters, is if YN can keep draining the clock just enough that they feel uncomfortable, it doesn't even matter with momentum on their side. It should be a free round almost every time. 5-4, seeing him inch ever so closer to match point here. Yeah. I am no man to hate on anyone, but Zabe might need to lock in, and Vante needs to give Aquino a pep talk, because him on the ram right now is not it.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Yin Cav finally see a SAS on the board, and arguably one of the best ops on the entirety of Border, despite being a little bit old, a little bit traditional. He does his job better than almost anywhere else in this tight corridor space where you can't really just walk around his drones. A lot of these big doorways are closed and there's no other really way in. it's going to make you forced to run into that mute and send a twitch there, send an EMP, and make you waste a lot more utility than I think you hope for. Plus, that shotgun on this top floor site is amazing, especially in that later game. And we see a Scopos brought for a deployable shield. I mean, there's a bit of usefulness to that. You can certainly make some fun plays, but don't know if relegating one of the more complex roamers to deployable shield makeshift is going to be a play. I like having a BP that I can sit behind, but don't know if it's useful. Entry traded back out. And with the Monty coming over here, it could very well be a speed plan, but we're going to need to see, with the lack of a Glaz now, Superior needs to get into a really good position, and kind of just a bit of a wait, I think. Problem is that the Monty is known that he is a Monty, and you kind of know what the plan could be. I guarantee you that there's at least some inkling of an idea between YN. Not a lot of C4s, that's unfortunate, but if you can have one well placed, that's all they can need. Yeah, no. Aquino needs to make a bit of a step up here. Shooting him isn't necessarily going to do all too much, but stopping him from sprinting might. Going to force him to play pretty passive. Op grabs one, an advantage I guarantee you they wanted, and with Yings going out, we can assume what the idea is. A hop in, hoping for no kill to the C4, and a bit of a wait. I don't know if he's trying to bait something. Apparently he guessed correctly, baited a mute C4. Yings go out, Smoke's gonna delay though before he can fully get it off. And Aquino grabs a double, doing his job, catches a bunch out. Aquino at the right place at the right time, catches quite a few, and then Scopos eventually finished off. And that deployable shield was not too much help there. As a direct take, gets it off. B3 putting up a bit more on that entry, 2-1, so he's taking a lot more of those early fights, and they need it, because I think relying on cells is not going to work out. He's only one man, and I think once they see that Ash, and once they know, what cells is going to play, they've gotten his number, and they're just going to back off. They're going to let him take the space, because the rest of his team can't keep up, and it's so much better, I think, in their case, to just, if it's a traditional play, all you have to do is just not give him that kill. Not give him that early advantage to just, get them something to work with. Because they will trade out in the win. Zave have kind of shown that a little bit more. Is if they're going untraditional, if they're going for a more unique strategy, they can win with that deficit of players. But if they're going traditional, they won't win when they're down. They haven't been able to do it yet, and you're kind of just hoping for something on the attack. And unless they see another direct play, which, I mean, honestly, the operator list would make sense. Well, loss of reward makes it a little bit less likely, but still possible. Someone needs to teach Yagami to, one, save his bullets, and to stop acting like he is clipping for TikToks here. You are in a league with a relatively large sample size and money, but we're playing like it's ranked, and I don't know, shooting a ceiling fan? I don't know. I don't intend to try to understand the mentality of console players. But once again, we do see quite a bit of bodies balcony. Spontany reinforcing last second, so they definitely know he's up here, but they might not be worried as they have a blitz in hand and could go direct if they really wanted. Once again, I feel like Zave can't really win their rounds unless we see them play, that aggressive, unique idea. To be fair, walking up and trying to challenge a half wall would be unique. Superior takes damage to the boss, if I'm not mistaken. Aquino finishes, and both the entry and a kill, which in this case are kind of astonishing. A bit of a pickup these last couple rounds. Realized that he's going unbelievably negative and had to lock in. Superior downed to a breach charge. Sometimes you can tell it's console. T3 does make mistakes, and those are hilarious moments, but it's not as hilarious when it happens more often than it should. A Habana weird hole is the plan for them, but I don't think an Osa and a Blitz are going to do it with smokes and a C4 from Cav gone, but impacts from Gin, and they didn't have to worry about the plant. They could just break it with an impact. Might be a little far back, so. Smutny just took it like a good boy. Said, don't worry about it. Dies to an impact, being shot below by the Zofia, so he's low, but YN with a pretty easy round to win, kind of threw it. Aquino with a triple, doing a job that no one expected him to do, which is go positive. Op grabs the last, and match point. Just, never again should we see people being downed to a breach charge. This is playoffs. And there's money on the line. This isn't a free league. But apparently we're throwing that out the window with this one. Despite that, Zave eSports grabbed the round, and even though weird impact kills and dying to a nade and watching it roll over to a side, Zave have looked much better in these past couple rounds. Mostly it's because Aquino has been putting up the numbers he normally does as a flex player. He should. And then Cell's taking a bit of a step back, but
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused.
it's kind of hard to get kills when one man is dropping a triple every round. Going for that last minute stat pad with, I think the bigger issue being Smutny has been kind of quiet recently. He was on a great pace to drop 20, doing amazing, and in the rounds where they needed him most here, he's kind of just gone quiet. And it's a really big hit to YN as a team because he's kind of been the reason they've won. He is their win condition half the time, and when you don't have the strategy to make up for a lost mechanical skill, it's really putting a lot of chance into something that shouldn't be all that chanceful. Maybe need to work on my wordplay because I don't think chanceful is a word, and I don't think probabilistic is also really all too fitting for a casting, but who says you can't have a little bit of fun? A little bit of uniqueness, if you will. To be fair, they're playing a very bland, ununique strategy. Strategy that would compare to old bread. You can use it and it'll probably work, but you're not going to like it. It's not going to be all that entertaining or tasteful. A roam upstairs does work. It's worked relatively well so far, but nobody's going to look at you and act like you reinvented the wheel. Even for console comp, this is a little bland. Aquino on the ram, trying to make sound calls, make some noise, and aggression from him might catch someone out, to be entirely fair. It's kind of just dependent on how aggressive he's willing to get. Sapir says, I got it, grabs the first, and Zave start up and around that. A pretty dominant one for them if they can finish it off here. Bit of waiting. Aquino could be trying to go for something here, but I think they just really don't want to lose that early entry, that early pick that they worked pretty hard to get here, and try to start even on a round that's so important. Yagami gets it. A whiff from him, but a hit from Aquino. Trade out here would be huge, but they need to get it. 2v4, and we're putting YN in a hard position. He grabs one, but he's low, and with the C4 in hand, maybe we see a bit of a crazy play. The time is running out, and YN are lower than I think they want. And the players alive aren't exactly holding any major utility, with the deployable shield still in hand from Matrix, and being just around 20 HP with a C4 as Pulse isn't really looking for much. They do have Diffuser, which does give them a leg up. All it takes is a couple good flashes or some droning, and suddenly you can pre-fire this man's head off. See, just a bit of a wait. Problem is that the more you see this clock bleed, it's really just going to keep benefiting. Aquino finishes triple. It's a 1v3, 15 seconds left. All he has to do is hold out.
Cover the diffuser.
If he can hold the time and a good angle, this could be winnable. But Cells finishes it out in a 7-5 ending from the side of Zave with much better attacking after to close it out. That was map 1. Be back after a quick break. This is going to be week 2 of Counting Cards. And we have a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I am abolishing a CC member on the league team, CC. One of the most OG league teams to this day. And, yeah, top 50 champion. You know how it'd be.
You know how it'd be, I guess. Nah, what is your favorite moment so far from Siege, you'd say? If we're going
My
any
favorite
moment.
moment,
Before this fucking
honestly,
shitty
bro,
ass update,
it's probably meeting my team that I'm now with, bro. Like, genuinely, I always played Siege, like, you know, for fun back in like 1.0. Like,
can they just
I
be
started around
like
like season 2 around there, and
C6 or CJ?
I kind of just played it for fun. And I never really, like, you know, had like a really strive or passion to want to play it. And then I met CryptoCal, which you would know him by.
Yep.
And yeah, from there we just kind of like formed like this cool team that just started playing Siege tourneys, and it like showed me a new side to Siege, bro. And it was like, honestly, it's pretty fun. So
Okay.
that's probably my favorite moment in Siege right now. Is
Me?
just like the comp scene. I really enjoy it.
Okay, let's go a little bit
Besides the
more.
toxic people.
Who's your favorite player over all of your comp Siege time? Favorite teammate? Yes, you're gonna have to.
Favorite teammate?
Yep.
Okay. Honestly, trying to think. Are we going off of like? Actually, you know what? I'll say Stargazer, because he's like honestly the nicest human being you'll ever meet. Like, no joke. Like, you can yell at him, be mean to him, no matter what you'll say, he'll still like. He'll just be a humble guy. Like, he will never argue with you. Like, I don't know. He's just
a very
he's so
happy-go-lucky
chill.
kind of guy.
Yes, he's literally the happy-go-lucky guy, bro. So, I'd say, yeah, probably Stargazer.
Okay, that's understandable. He's relatively well liked by what feels like everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why. He's so, like, just chill.
Okay, let's go to
Like
your
him.
accomplishments. What is your favorite accomplishment as a player?
I would like to say winning a Scissors League, but, you know, just can't damn do that, apparently. But,
What's so Black
honestly,
Ice?
yeah, Black Ice I definitely think is up there, but, honestly, I would just say...
The game comes back. First man. After a pretty dominant win at that very end from Zave, YN looking to have a pretty big comeback here. They have the defense to play with, but we'll see. Obviously, map 3 would be the decider. Guaranteed a hopeful for YN here. Obviously, want to try to come into this with a momentum and you know, win that map 2 and then go into map 3 strong, but they're going to need to stop them. Habana Cade, the Basement Warriors, want to make sure it's, well, a hard site to play for both sides. And do you want that full, all 3 hatches, you're going to have to waste more than just one op. Obviously, Kitchen's hatch can still be held with that impact tricking, but Moto and Blue are now free now that Cade is gone. Big thing to be left wondering here is what can we see from YN to sort of prove themselves. They can even come back, because that end for them was not great. Second that attacking half came on, they just were locked in, and now we're on a defender-sided map, so we're really going to have to see a better defense from one of these sides to take it out. First rounds here are always the most impactful, because getting that early momentum can decide the fate of a game in itself. It's why clutches are such a big deal. Yes, one round is a lot, but the bigger thing is clutching that official,
Attackers need to locate
you know, the momentum
bombs.
in a game, because momentum matters so much more, and it's such a bigger factor than just a one-round count. Early pipe pop, and I guarantee you not what they wanted, because that can arguably be one of the best resources to have. Instead, it's going to go early due to an accidental shotgun shot. Rome with that Scopos, not uncommon at any degree, and actually one of my favorite maps overall. Be a big win for Zave, though, if they can get this first round. Start off with the weaker side and still pull out a round. Couldn't ask for more.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Our YN with a pretty bunker setup besides that Scopos, and we'll see what they have to say about that last game. Cells on that entry, no real changes in players. Obviously Superior gone now, but or excuse me, on a little bit of a different role. Obviously both are still flex players, but Superior picking up the SMD-12 instead. A relatively limited roam from the Scopos so far. Makes you assume it's like a rat play, but I just question the point of that at that point. Just play like a Vigil. Play Cab or something. Instead we're gonna see late roam and a TK. Zave not starting off hot. TKing your star Fragger. But a soft hatch is going to make it easy, and Cav sneaking up Blue here. Help, but I don't know what he's intending on pre-firing. But he's just going to have to run away, and the rat roam play might still be viable here. Or not. They saw that Scopos and got rid of it pretty fast. Kitchen hatch gone. Those hatches and that pressure is just starting to come towards them. Bit of a downside though, and one that you see more commonly than you'd think, but now that you have another phone, you can give a very easy start to the side of Zave, who can catch it. However, Yagami increases that player count advantage, and looking harder and harder longer goes on. Op holding an angle he cannot try to challenge, really. We're going to see a win here from Zave. It's going to have to be on the hero play, because at this point I don't think anyone's going to peek. I think they know what they have, and you're just going to have to try and challenge some very hard angles. Cav holding a relatively strong one. A lot of drones wasted from him just sitting here and shooting. And Kings go out. They really need to get a plan or something over here. A fake drop down. Perfect timing for one, but caught out with the super shorty. 2v1. Time closing in. Good flash, but time sitting closer and closer. All it takes is one good hold. Matrix grabs both, and YN start off strong. All just kind of ran downhill with, you see that first kill with a TK to start off the game. Just kept snowballing itself, and YN taking a pretty free round overall. The big thing, though, is can we see YN and Zave, can one of them take that big role in trading each other out? Because if either of them can pick it up and really be strong here with that, that could give them a huge advantage. We'll see. Both teams did struggle quite a bit last game, and that first round is a lot more important than I think people are going to give acknowledgement for. Somehow the strongest player, YN, 134 EPS last game, +4 in the trade differential. Pretty good round for him, but pretty good game. But let me see a bit more, I think, if he wants to pull the same hero performance, because despite that unfortunate TK, we did see quite a bit of good play from Zave. They did move a little bit slower, but their timings were much better. They looked much more comfortable, even down that player, and eventually down 2 players. And I think now that we don't have a TK as likely, it's going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be. Cell's already aggressive as ever, challenging these hard angles as fast as he can, and this bandit may as well be useless because he's just letting it go off. I don't know what the plan was. 4 in hand, and just kind of let the wall fly. Destruction going out too. Well timed, and now you've just had quite a few of these people trapped. You're going to have to take a very risky run back. Now you have 3 people over here that are going to feel hard to move because that angle on construction and this CC wall.
Attackers have
Great play from Zave to just keep trying to box these people in and give them quite a bit of pressure that they wouldn't have otherwise. Yin holding it, Yagami ran back, so eventually they could realize that pressure was in fact fake. And pressure to move back, but no drones on Matrix yet, and this might be kind of dangerous here. He's holding a good angle, and once we see a big whiff from him, he gets an early entry. Bad timing though, he shot early and gave himself away. Capito Fire coming out, and pressure starting to mount. Cell's holding that aggressive angle here, hoping for a swing. However, I think he's going to be a little bit sadly unlucky with it, as he's just going to sit in the corner with a shotgun. Rely on it. Cav gets killed with C4. Goes below, gets a Kino, so maybe a little bit less impactful than I think he hoped due to that utility already being used. Yin sneaking up here. Could have had quite a few kills, but instead his running back kind of cost him. D4 coming out. Misses. Vontae grabs 1. Zave get that advantage. I don't know what the plan is from Yin. Apparently he thinks he's on PC or knows the map like the back of his hand, but he ran into a construction pallet. Op cells, all just trying to trade shots down range and catch someone. Vontae, Millimore's aplenty on the windows, and Yin holding a hard angle. Could be a little bit unfortunate for him if he chose to swing. However, the plan might just be try to force construction here with all the bodies they have. Aji side doesn't have up much towards it. You know, a good Grim here or some good droning could catch quite a few out. Cells grabs 1, 2v4. Time's low, but bodies are flying. Smutny last one, 4v1, and as we see, extremely well done time management and placement. He's gonna struggle. Cells eventually gets the last one, triple at that very end, and Zave looking much better in that second round. As I was sort of saying, their timings just got so much better. They were able to just use their pressure now that they're not down a person, and I think we're just going to see that more and more. I've seen them scrim. I've seen them in other games. They're good when you let them have a map like this that's so default. Yeah, Hike, he got TK'd just straight up early on, first round, and obviously cost him quite a bit. a surprisingly hard swing side. I wouldn't expect it to swing as much in terms of players alive, but doesn't matter all too much anyways. I personally think Zave, though, is going to pull it out, despite their a little bit lackluster start. Team-wise, they're better at what they do, and I think they're just always going to be a little more comfortable. You know, we know how they play. Zave are a little bit more traditional, but Vontae and his group are well run. He scrims well with them, and just scrimming alone can give you a pretty big advantage on the side of console. Tab downstairs, Yagami holding first floor, gets that first kill on Nakino on that Zofia. So far, been pretty miserable with it. Bigger question is, can Cav get something? Apparently, Ops is just run back to site with their already one-player advantage. Kind of seeing them reinforcing, bunker off, and just let it come towards them, because now you already have the numbers. Don't tell me my game is going to crash. We're back after what I assume would have been, honestly, a full reset. Luckiness strikes and quite a big time, because we didn't miss out too much. Selb's holding one of the most ridiculous angles I've seen, and he dares to swing that door or try to run away. You're going to be caught out, and you certainly won't look at a prone angle. Gets the damage onto Cav, and already a good start. CC being broken open. Must have been muted. These prones might work, but if they start going for the different wall here, he might be caught out, and this angle from Matrix could be very well punished. Aggression could catch him something, but getting one, run away. 5v3, Zave down again. So once again, hiding himself in that corner, just trying to tuck in, let them come towards him, because right now it's YN's game and round, and all they got to do is just keep that advantage. Keep the numbers, keep the trade-outs. Miss swing, Matrix doesn't help. Cav grabs it, though. See superior Vontae, gonna have to clutch a 2v5. Numbers are not in their favor. It's even worse, 5v1. Matrix, YN with a beautiful round finish. Maybe not the greatest aim, but so far, just once again, so much swing to each of these rounds. I feel like we just never see a close one. We're seeing these rounds with 4 people left, 5 people left, 4 people left so far, and it just feels like every single game is it's determined by that first pick, and after that, it feels like the game's already wraps. At least so far. With final bans coming out, really just gonna have to see some adaptation probably from the side of Zave. We need to see something to sort of help them get back their momentum. Ward might be a bit of a target ban, but he's still very strong, especially if they plan to use that blitz and those flashes. What might look like a target ban. There could be quite a bit of thought put behind it. However, due to teams not talking in Discord all too often, we cannot do a mic or a vocal check or whatever it's called. Comm check. That's what the word is. It's very fun in T3 if you have it all set up, and especially in tactical timeouts, it's awesome to listen in and just sort of, hear what teams change and IGLs do their thing. It's cool. A little bit less common on the side of console, though, because obviously quite a bit of teams use Xbox parties, and trying to connect a PC to a party is nowhere near simple. as casting is predominantly done with PCs, simply just because of the overlays and stuff you must have in terms of stats and spreadsheets and quite a bit of notes. Most of the casters you've seen console are doing it more for the fun, because PC pays numbers. I still am obviously going to come back to leagues like these to catch fun matches with new growing teams, but you can get paid $20 a game in PC. Those numbers are certainly a nice prospect, even with the extra additives you normally must do. So far, all 5 bodies on site. Cat probably gonna roam towards the main stairs, but I expected much more of a roam, honestly, from the side of YN. When they give themselves that extension, it feels that they're much better. They give, a little more space, and it forces them to just, push back, drone, flash, and waste, 25, 30 seconds to clear them out. But instead, it's a pretty bunker hold, and that can work on this side. I just don't think it fits their style. Vert from above, and we do know the angle surprisingly, but the question is, does Cav? Because if he's caught out on this angle, it's not really something you can hold with a shotgun or pistol. Could be forcing him to move back. Opt to the C4 trick, hope for some luck, but early blow, and I don't know what the plan was. This hearing cost them what could have been a kill. Spawny taking damage. Quite a bit of players have been tagged on the side of YN, but we need to see some movement for them towards those hatches, towards a plan, because minute 30 left and all you have open is Moto is not really a good prospect. Players low helps, but when a shotgun can one-shot you, it certainly isn't anywhere near as enticing. Ballister, I think, is going to be a big player if he can force this Ash charge to go out and just... Now you don't have a Mira. Now it just means that you have to play very aggressive and kind of guess a little bit. Even with a shotgun in hand, a good headshot could catch out quite a bit. Time in that ever so lowering number ticks down, and the more we see, it's just going to keep benefiting YN here. A dirt play could actually work, but the problem is that castle barricade. You're going to have to break it open and take quite a bit of pressure. Could make way for something. Nomad does the job, but could have had a kill if they just were a little bit more on it. Gotta make a move here. They can't wait this long for a hatch drop. Plan. Something's gotta go. Aquino gets a kill with the Demos in dirt. Double so far. Apparently they didn't really expect it. We're prepared. Great position to cause some chaos. Gets another double kill for Aquino. Lag on his side, I think, but Yagami in a nearly impossible situation. Superior with a great shot and pre-fire. Leaving it up to that little time is never a good idea, but Zave were able to clean it out with some great play on dirt. Normally I would say trying to rely on that is not a great one, but they played it well, and what more could you ask? Side of players, we're seeing Aiden take easily the biggest jump up. 2-0 in the entry, +1 on the trade differential, 1.0 KD. I mean, you're not going to break the world with it, but getting those early kills means a lot in these kind of games.
Defuse as many bombs as they can.
To be fair, when he gets that first kill, that's wraps. So far, out of these 2 rounds they've won, both of them had that early kill going for them. So, Zave being able to do much more with that entry. YN seemed to be a little more shaky getting those early ones. Alright, Zave a little more shaky getting those early ones.
10 seconds to go.
Finally see a bit of a more aggressive realm plan from Matrix, or what at least you can assume would be aggressive. 2 players upstairs and still a shotgun, but having an already big plan for these top floors could, I think, give YN a really big boost in just terms of, you know, how much time they can have at that very end, because we already saw it gets kind of iffy the closer we get to that end of the game. And Matrix, however, caught out by, I'm assuming, a drone and pings, and great first pick. Zave grabbing it. Cells needs to take a big step up on the entry overall, but we're good now. Surprisingly, out of all things, Aquino's been taking those first fights. Taking them well, maybe not so much. He sort of struggled very early in the round. Smutny grabs a bit of a tie-up kill there, and the time not really a worry for the side of Zave quite yet, but a wallbang shot from Aquino. He didn't even really have a great sound call. Spidey sense over here. Got the force in his mind. However, bodies galore up here. Apparently, the direct sight idea was just a theory. No pings, and he might know. Something tells me he does, and I think he can beta swing here, and just a shotgun shot he can pre-fire, but it's going to be close. Cav sitting in that corner, he had an inkling of suspicion. If he just waited for the drone, he would have known, and I'm just going to see a tie-up instead, but a bit of an advantage for the side of YN, because now they realistically have to worry about him. Even if they don't, come back to bite them if they're not smart. Hatches go open with a minute left and making good pace, but the issue is you still have that one player upstairs. You still have one man that causes so much chaos if it all goes wrong. And honestly, ignoring him might be a good play if they had some claymores or something, but instead you're working with just nomads, and I don't think those are placed on the stairs at all. I take... Where's this nomad? I have no idea, honestly. Nomad beats me, but drone downstairs, everyone's just kind of looking for something. Slowly walking down. RNG hopes to catch something. Time lowering, though. They can't worry about all the angles. Gonna run through the fire. Caught out anyways. Here you're going for a plant. He has a Legion mine in his foot. Couldn't watch it in time. A down won't mean anything. Big win for YN. Thinking about that Aquino comment. I mean, I don't know. The prospect doesn't seem crazy to me. Is he on PC though? Is my thing. I don't even know if he's on PC. I'd assume not, but I can't be exactly sure.
Attackers need to locate.
Big chance for YN to get a nice advantage and a half. Give them that head start, but we'll see. I don't know. I wouldn't really certainly think walls quite yet. I just think we'd see more demos from him. But it's neither here nor there. Not quite yet. Any real accusations, we'd see the Moss be pulled up, and that would be something to be looking at. I've actually seen quite a bit recently with Moss and people cheating. Most recent was a Moss check on a dude, and he had recoil scripts. That's a little more uncommon nowadays, especially with how good the industry has gotten. And Moss doing a pretty good job threatening people. You know, gets the wall open early on. They leave it soft for the footholds, but that plays right into what Aquino's kit does. Soft entry is his signature kind of entry, and the bigger thing is Cells could maybe catch someone out of here if he could run. take that back. Cav hurt, and big start for them. Even an even half here would, I'd argue, kind of be a win for Zave. So, YN either walk ahead with a major victory or slight loss. And YN really looking like a much better held team right now. Players are in better positions. Feels like no one's really caught out yet. Where what we're seeing from Zave so far hasn't looked that great. Their entry feels like it's being too aggressive. Aggression shown, and Vontae is a free one on Yagmi simply just because we thought, I don't know, a plan maybe. Smoke proning in the corner. Maybe not the smartest play. Up catches another one, 3v4. Crap tons of just pressure being put on the side of Matrix here. Despite the suspicious name. Superior catches another one. What started to look so wrong for the side of Zave has kind of just fallen back into their hands simply just because I feel like there's been some bad play off of the miss C4 simply because he got a little bit scared and quenched. Huge miss from Op. Could have the kill there, but aggression doesn't matter. Superior finds it. Down to one man, 40 seconds. Love. 1 and 2 on the game. Had a pretty good game last time, but he's going to have to catch elite time management skills here and manage not just the clock, but play the players as best he can, because people-wise, he grabs 1. 2 could be possible, but he's kind of being trapped by his own fire. Gonna be forced to walk right back up. Didn't know, and Op gets them that 3-3 half. Bands next. First band goes out, we see the Cade Blackbeard. Once again, some of the strongest ops on Clubhouse. Cade being the most banned in T3, actually. Only behind Clash, which they're both almost 100% at this point. It's really just a show of how strong it is. Not really any surprise there. Second ban's making that gym bedroom site pretty hard, just banning those essential ops to try to make a lot of the sites dysfunctional. You need that castle there to try to stop any Claymore play in. Because that we might possibly see just a chance, a bar stage. It's not entirely uncommon from teams where you see that castle go down on gym bedroom, and it makes it so hard to play the site. It's genuinely smarter if you're a well-played team there to just go for, you know, the bit of more unorthodox side approach. And it works generally. There's a pretty high win rate. But the low pick rate also kind of shows its issues. Drones astray, and for the first time what feels like a while, the Ace is actually a pickable op, and Yin gladly picks it up. Forced to put it back down though. They need that vertical. They need those hatches. That's Abana's game, and because that now means they only have to dedicate one real op to it. And they can now have really another big op they can pick. They have to do the Ram and the Grim. Jackal, that realm clear, and friendly Smutney on the entry, but maybe they see something. Or it's just luck of the draw and we're all hitting A for the Ash, in which case chalk for the team. cab. First one to go down. Vante grabs it with that SMG-11. Holding these stairs like this on that second floor might actually be the better one here, because with so many players upstairs, they realistically either have to acknowledge it because they want to try to get that advantage and tie it back up, and that's the closest player, or they could also just go direct and ruin the plans, because with one player on site, you beg they don't drone hard, because if they see it, there's one man there, you're going to have a hard time. Instead, we have, I don't know, something. Whatever this man's plan is. Body starting to drop off. Matrix taking that space. Aggression going always towards Zave so far. With Aquino still in a good position, he catches one out, can just run away. Prone gonna be very close, but he's not able to catch him to the grade, so now one man advantage, the minute 30 left. A great start, and we still have Vante in these power positions here. It's realistically going to cost utility clear if he plays the right, because so much you have to do, and with 2 smokes in hand, he's going to be able to delay that oncoming push towards main for quite a bit if he wants, or at minimum make that fight really hard. And I think it's realistically going to either force a lot of pressure and a lot of utility towards him, possibly even not a C4, but finding out what's going on. He catches the whiff of pressure and runs away. Great instincts from him to just kind of know what's going to happen there and just pop. Catch-ups could be happening, but the smokes again are just causing more issues. If you're going to drop in, you're going to lose quite a bit of health, and it's not a fun prospect. Slow as well, so it actually being damaged. Vante grabs another. These smokes in his SMG-11 have proved to be vital to this round. That would be Yin and Yagami. Bigger issue is just that time is closing down. 20 seconds left. It's going to benefit the plays for Zave. Questionable pre-fire through the 4 of them. 2v3, it won't be enough. Time just isn't looking great for them. And Yagami has to hold the angle. Zave, 4-3. Cells taking that MVP of the server. Only person surprisingly close is Aquino. Much better game from him. He's trading out, and he's also gotten 4 entry fights. He's also 2-2 on entry fights, but he's getting those fights done, and that kind of aggression is pretty damn good from him. Stay hydrated, folks. These long games are hard on the throat and pause. But they are truly pretty hard. I have to get a BO5. What'll be this coming Wednesday, and I'm not all too excited too. Pretty sure it's on my birthday. Well, casting for 5 hours straight might be a fun thing for me, but you do regret it, and there's a reason I have quite a bit of tea stacked. Are y'all tea drinkers? Can there be such thing as an American tea drinker, or are you all coffee addicts instead? Yearn for those beans. To be fair, I like this. I like stimulants as much as the next guy. I don't know, I'm just more of a tea man. Tea is my jam. Plus, it's much better on the throat. You gotta have some prep, despite the dirty emotions aside. Cab possibly runs away at the right time. Could have been caught out by Cells' shotgun, and that wouldn't have been pretty. Instead, on the Ram for second floor, he's gonna opt to go below, and not entirely sure what the plan is. The slow walkout does benefit him. Could make a play here. The lack of any acknowledgement from him sounds kind of covered, and he's in a great position to cause some chaos. 2 bodies trapped, and now you have your first entry there. You can back off or go for more, and such a better situation, especially with the bodies that are left. People are just dying left and right. 5v2 Aquino and Vante. Aquino could get quite a few kills here if it all goes right, but Matrix holding the prone angle out of all things. Works out for him. Double kill, 5v1, could be flawless. Vante says no, grabs one, but Yin trades him out. And not really the round I expected. YN started great on that defense last round, but Ice Sweater. The Ashton Hall reference. Yeah, no, I cannot. Ice Water, I shall never. I got Summertime Man. Still got that oh so beautiful cold bath after I run in the morning. Like, catching me in that bath for way longer than I need to be, but when it's 90 degrees out, no one's really going to hate on you for sitting in a cold tub of water. You know, those dudes that take ice baths must actually enjoy it the second it turns into that, summer. When it turns into 110 degrees, I'm pretty sure anyone would enjoy an ice bath. A shield in probably the weirdest position I've ever seen, to be entirely honest. They have to say no to the castle. Obviously, those bans causing it to be a little weird. And instead, a deployable shield will apparently try to soothe all their worries, which, sorry to say, might not be the play. Hey, so far Aquino's actually looked like an actual player on this team. And that's a big step up. Been not that great of a roamer, but at least he's doing something. And Superior are going to probably have the most pressure taken his side. He has Jaegers here to help stop those Capital bullets that I know are going to be coming from Yagami, but a well-placed, to be entirely fair, a well-placed Capital bullet would stop it entirely. The Jaegers only cover that very front, so if you're able to place it on the Kiba barricade, pretty sure you should be fine. Only half of Wild Boys is here. Vision, go do your scrimming or VOD review. You got a team to IGF. Bodies walk up. And apparently everything is pushing towards this Raptors with, so for minimal success, Yagami will be the first to die. Cells on that Frost. P-Shooter likes, but doing good. Love and Cav are going to be the big players here. It's really just how fast can we see some Raptors take going, because it has been slow, and that benefits Zave even more, because they're just going to let them drain this time off the clock. However, the second he sees that Monty, I guarantee he was a little less inclined to peek it. Aquino goes down. Someone's got to be the first out of the team, and not really a surprise. It's him. Genius here. Geniuses. Despite the jokes, with the bandit battery gone, he doesn't have anything to replace it. He's going to have to try to either trick with one or... Instead, plays it perfectly. I don't think he's going to be able to put it down in time. Perfect timing, and what could have been a huge wall and a big way for them to get in is now essentially just going to be a prey on push-up. 30 seconds left, multiple people looking, and you can't even really shoot because D4's impacts. Everyone's looking at you, and there's not much you can do. 20 seconds left. This should be big finish. Zave grab up that one round they need. Wait, what match do you have, Grace? Is this what I get for not being up to date on whatever's happening in Wild Boys Fun Fine? Missing the casual talk. Well, YN aren't really in all of that. They might have relative success, but their arrogance acts like they are the next Obey. And there we go.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Zave looked much better on that entry. For the most part, so far, bit of struggling from YN. RNG has taken literally every single entry fight. Aiden's putting in a little bit of work, but with much less success. Zave looking to just grab a quick 7-5 here, and to be entirely fair, I don't know what would happen, because round differential being the exact same caused quite a bit of issues for who would be up. I guess you might go by kill total or kill total. I guess you had a kill differential? Or like, I don't know, cost? Maybe? Generally, you don't see the differential go the exact same, and even then, normally it's a randomization, but don't think either side is going to like a flip of a coin. Hard Breach goes out, and first little bit of step into the pressure for them. Aquino grabs the first one, and what has been a bit more of a quiet match, quiet couple of rounds. Putting up good entries, but still cannot trade for anything, so not too surprising. Vante, on the other hand, he's doing his job. He's not exactly going to break the world with his, record-defying no entry, but he's doing what he needs to. He's putting up the cost, and he's... you can't ask for more, honestly. Matrix takes that superior cells with the trade to Smut and Eat. Matrix could be in a bit of a good position to grab another here. Just kind of depends on timings and how much cells is willing to try to go for a risk. Because he is being cubed in, and aggressive play here would benefit him. Cells grabs another. Might be stuck by a Nomad, but his position apparently is very hard to kill. And Matrix gets damage, can't kill him. Eventually taken down by Yin, but time's winding down. 2 smokes left, Legions on the board, and still Goyo, so who's the MVP for both teams? I'd probably give it to Vante here. Cells has been good on the entry, but the IGLing and trading out from Vante has been much more instrumental for the side of Zave. Probably Matrix. He's been good both maps. Not really the greatest on entry, but who cares when you're dropping as much as he does? That or Cav. I don't know. I'd give it to Vante on Zave, and then I'd give it to Matrix on YN. Beautiful play on from the above there. Fast, aggressive, and ties it back up. The issue is, once again, time is just winding down. 15 seconds left, and a hatch drop might be possible, but you're just risking so much with not a great chance of success. Smokes, you're essentially stuck in a corner. All it takes is a good placed one, and you're done. One goes down to a Legion mine, and the go finishes. Probably not the end that they expected, but match point, Zave. Huh. Well, this round is actually relatively important, because if we see Zave lose this round, then the actual side that gets, whatchamacallit, the side that chooses map 3 is a bit unknown, but if Zave went out here Then YN picks side, going on the map 3 of Consulate. Should be a much larger advantage, I think, than, you know, it gives for. Yes, Zave does have Superior in, and I want to say Kino. Don't quote me on that. I honestly didn't, because I remember Kino being on Void, but I don't remember if he left after that. So, a bit of a, I might be wrong. No, he is. I'm trying to think, what is their official roster? Because I feel like Op is the one that's not on it. Sells pretty good on the game so far, deciding to a mirror trick out of all things. Actually really effective all in all. The big thing though is they have the C4s here, and all it takes is, you know, if you try to go for a thermite, you're essentially just forced to give up on the wall because you can be C4'd at any time and it'll hit you. Amazing strategy, and normally seen more on Night Haven than anything, but viable in many other maps and walls. First kill goes from Superior. If I'm not mistaken, the E-sub for this team, and still putting up pretty good numbers, honestly. Despite his little bit more of a strange status of the team. Might be able to grab another here if we see a hop in from Yin. However, I think he knows better. Cav, on the other hand, could have himself quite the big gap here. All it takes is a slow walk up, and it's benefiting him. Suddenly, YN have an amazing player in a good spot here. It's a 3v5, but if he can catch just one, it could look great for them. Might die first. A whiff on both sides, but he cleans it. Vante still just sitting on his Mira, deciding to keep holding and not worry about what's going on. Yin, Matrix, and Cav all in sort of a position hoping to get a good cross kill. Matrix grabs cells, top frag, and the kill from below would be huge, but he missed the shot. Yin, Superior traded out. 2v2, making it as close as they can. Aquino grabs one, playing that aggressive angle in the main, and down to your last man. Gets open that construction wall, but certainly a question of how much that's going to matter here. Opposite sub, really? I did not know. I mean, I didn't know Aquino was the E-sub. Came way closer than they wanted, but Zave sitting in his corner eventually benefits him, and we're going to map 3, folks. Sadly, we are going to have a 5-minute timeout, or time in between, because these dudes got to pick sides, and they are slow. But I will see you soon.